I think that talking about climate change is talking about energy. More than 75% of the emissions came from energy. So the energy is the key sector to achieve net zero. And I think that it was one of the first fighting against climate change. No? Right now, the cheapest way to produce electricity is solar and wind farms. And now we don't have to choose between ecology and economy, because the best for climate is the best for, is also the cheapest. No? And this is great news for developing countries. But I think that we still have a big challenge. And achieving the net zero emissions will require a transformation of the global economy. And we require actions across all economic sectors and geographies. Because, sorry, to make green options available, affordable, and attractive, the key driver will be innovation. And in fact, the International Energy Agency predicts that half of the energy efficiency improvements by 2050 will use technology that now are only prototypes. So we urgently need to develop new solutions that contribute to reduce pollution, but at the same time to store and remove greenhouses to balance ongoing emissions beyond the target date. But it should be noticed that bringing new technologies in energy to market can take decades. Successful examples in the development of clean energy solutions, such as solar or LEDs, took between 10 and 30 years from first prototype to commercialization. As our goal is so ambitious and the time we have so limited, the only way to succeed is to drive innovation, to find new ways to do things in a different way. And I think that innovation is about two main things: money and people. And I think that this is not the correct order. The money to innovate must be managed properly. It's not about giving money to big corporations to develop individual and standalone projects, but it's about creating an environment that enables and encourages the development of new solutions and new business models. And this will be the environment that attracts people. People, talent, skilled, motivated, with the abilities and the vision to break new ground in doing things in a different way. We now know how to generate renewable electricity, but not everything is about electricity. Regarding some reports and McKinsey reports for 2022, in 2025, we still need fossil fuel. We have a question for you. Can we share the first question to know what is your opinion regarding how much fossil fuel we are going to have in 2050? It's a multiple choice, so perhaps to know what do you think about that. We're talking about final energy, the mix in 2050. How much fossil fuel do you think that we will have in our balance?
So if you could click on the Energy 1 button on your timeline, everybody. And if you need some help, just raise your hand, and George will come and help you. And you will find, just drag the bar. What do you think will be the weight of fossil fuels in the final energy matrix by 2050? And here in real time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The 20% of you are right. The 17%, 21%. The solution is more than 40% of fossil fuel we have in the final energy. So we are still in the 2050, although we reach this exercise of net zero emission, we need fossil fuel. And here, hydrogen has emerged on the agenda in these recent years as a topic of great interest, although in the the green hydrogen is currently not competitive. So I suppose that it's a problem of scale too, no? But as we saw yesterday, is production and a commercial level is not yet possible, and logistical issues must have to be solved to connect production to consumption points. So significant cost reductions are needed, and beyond reducing the cost of renewable electricity, that is the main component of green hydrogen price, a further reduction in the cost of electrolyzers that is the second element in the price of hydrogen, must be needed. And this reduction in cost must be achieved through a combination of technological progress, but too public policy and support mechanisms. In particular, I think that it requires policy-driven support that are aligned with research and development, but at the same time, we need commercial initiatives. We have to have in mind that hydrogen could be a great solution to storage huge amounts of renewable electricity, and is an alternative as traditional batteries. There is another point that we cannot forget, that is that the effort ahead that we have is so enormous that the energy efficiency that Emilio talked yesterday must be one of the first and most important drivers to fight against climate change, because it is the cleanest and, in most cases, the cheapest way to meet our energy needs. There is no possible path to net zero emissions without using our energy resources much more efficiently. And net zero requires continued reduction in the energy intensity. And this reduction, or this increasing in the energy efficiency, must come from transport, buildings, and industry, not from electricity mainly. And to achieve net zero emissions, McKinsey 2022 Outlook estimates that the energy intensity must be reduced by 40%. Currently, you consume 7 gigajoules by dollar GDP, and the next value that we have to have by 2025 will be 3. So much remains to be done. And here, the efforts must come from well-developed energy efficiency policies as appliance standards, and the role of data and digital information and digital technologies for connected devices. We must not forget that energy efficiency will be a lever to job creation. There is another aspect in the situation that we are living right now, and an aspect that I think that we cannot neglect it, is about energy sovereignty, and which is the energy sovereignty that we are willing to assume.
Rosa, what is that word again, please?
It's sovereignty, soberanía.
Sovereignty?
Sovereignty?
Sovereignty.
Sovereignty. No, it's not sovereignty.
Sovereignty.
Sovereignty, sorry.
Energy sovereignty. Thank
energy
you. Just in English.
Sovereignty.
Sovereignty.
Sorry.
Thank
you. Thank you for stopping me. Thank you. It's really important, I think, this issue.
And you have the
energy sovereignty.
What does it mean?
Is the control that we are going to have, our own decision regarding the management of the energy.
For the individual? For
the countries. It's a problem of security too, no? And with the situation that we are living now, it's really important, I think, to take this decision in a country level, and perhaps in a Euro level, or in a country level too. So, energy sovereignty is about the value chains in the energy. I think that let us not be short-sighted and make mistake focusing only in fuel dependence. Let's also look about technology, about material dependence, and logistical chains. In Europe, the 90% of the solar panels and battery are imported. So dependence of critical minerals needed, for example, to infrastructure and to renewable technologies will increase 7-fold by 2050, according to the International Energy Agency, which also carries risks of price volatility and supply disruptions. And this can hamper transition. This is an opportunity to strengthen the energy transition by taking long-term structural security decisions without forgetting the triangle that we have in energy, that is environment, price of energy, and security at the same time. I would like to finalize concluding that fighting climate change is a global responsibility, that we need technological innovation, but we need innovative markets that works aligned with finance, with infrastructure, with demand, with incentives. And this transition cannot be achieved without the participation of citizens. It's true that it's a great opportunity for the economy, but it must be a great opportunity for people too. So I think and I believe that we are on the track, but we must intensify our efforts and increase the innovation to implement solutions for this better future. So let's do it.